Detained American journalist Evan Gershkovich will spend at least another 3 months in a Russian prison. During a pre-trial hearing, a Moscow court ordered the Wall Street Journal reporter's detention to be extended until August 30th. Now, Gershkovich has first detained in Russia in March on espionage charges. He's facing up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
The Wall Street Journal released a statement after the hearing saying, while we expected there would be no change to Evan's wrongful detention, we were deeply disappointed. The accusations are demonstrably false, and we continue to demand his immediate release. NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley joins us now. So, Matt, what do we know about Evan Gershkovich's status at this point, and have Russian officials given a reason as to why his detention was extended?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty typical. And so this is something that, while disappointing, as we heard from the Wall Street Journal, this is not going to surprise anybody, least of all. And I think the person who's least surprised here is going to be Gershkovich himself, because, of course, he understands the Russian legal system. He's been following these cases and reporting on them very closely. And he knows that there's a 90% chance he's going to be convicted and that he could be in pretrial detention for as long as a year. Paul Whelan, the former U.S. Marine who was convicted back in 2020, he had to spend 15 months in pretrial detention before he was eventually convicted of espionage and sentenced to 16 years in jail. And guys, you could better believe that Gershkovich himself is looking forward to that conviction. And if that sounds a little odd, he's waiting for it because he knows a conviction is almost entirely inevitable. And it's only when he's convicted that he's going to be able to look forward to American diplomatic efforts to try to get him out, including a prisoner exchange. And we saw from Brittany Griner, the U.S. basketball star last year, and others, that you need a conviction in a Russian court and a sentence in order to move ahead with prisoner exchanges. And that is really Gershkovich's best hope for salvation at this point. Guys.
So Matt, Gershkovich's parents, U.S. embassy officials were actually at the hearing. Were they able to speak with him at all, or just get a read on how he's holding up?
Well, we heard from Gershkovich's parents. The Wall Street Journal quoted them, and they said that, they were happy to see him. This isn't really the first time that U.S. officials have been able to see him. The U.S. ambassador was able to meet with him in April last month and reported that he was in good condition. And, we were able to see Gershkovich. He looks as though, in that past court appearance, he looks as though he's healthy. He was standing up. He assumed sort of a defiant posture in front of the court. So this is all a good sign. And the fact that his parents were there, we don't really know if they were able to communicate with him, because the fact is that we didn't actually see Gershkovich in that trial. But, we do know that Gershkovich is in good health. And we've heard this from various other sources from the U.S. Embassy and others, that it seems as though he's healthy and he's fighting. Guys.
Matt, do we know whether the Biden administration has had any communication recently with Russian officials about the detainment?
No, I mean, we don't really know. I mean, the fact is that we're told that the Biden administration and the State Department, that they're going to be working on this every single day. Crucially, the Biden administration has classified his case as wrongfully detained, which opens up a menu of diplomatic options that the U.S. can work with, including, as I mentioned, that prisoner swap. But when it comes to the State Department and diplomatic efforts, the U.S. knows from experience that the only way that Gershkovich is ever going to be released in a prisoner swap is if he's convicted. Again, he has to be convicted and sentenced, and then and only then can the process begin in earnest to bring him back home. Guys.
Okay. Matt Bradley, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.